Can you invest in sports cards? If you want to find out, reason number 3, stay tuned. Welcome back to EDI Sports Cards. This series is all about can you invest in sports cards? And so if you haven't seen reason number 1 and 2, please go back to the playlist and watch those videos. Can you invest in sports cards? And reason number 3 is historical data. So what do I mean by historical data? So one of the things that we know in the hobby is that eBay is the largest marketplace for sports cards in the world. If there are more cards posted there, there are more sales over the course of a year there. Although, again, the number of cards that are being sold, we don't know. And that's part of the issue, is that there's no historical data. If you watched reason number 1, the video with reason number 1, it talks about a lack of an exchange. So if you have on one side, you have sports cards, and you have on the other side stocks and bonds, then you know that if you're going to buy a stock, you go to an exchange. You go to the New York Stock Exchange, you go to NASDAQ, and there's a couple other exchanges that you can go to. The whole point is when you go to the exchange, there are rules, there's transparency, and there's historical data. So here's the problem. When you don't have an exchange, you don't know your risk, but you also have no historical data. And what that means is if I'm trying to sell, let's say, this card, or let's say I'm trying to sell this card, so one of the things that you know is there's a serial number on that card, right? Okay, there's a serial number on this card. SGC has serial numbers. PSA has serial numbers. BGS has serial numbers. The problem is that when you go to buy this card, you have no idea how many times this card has been transferred from one person to another. That's not how investing works. I need to know how many times was this card sold. This specific card, not cards like it. That's the problem. So if you're trying to invest, like if you want to invest in something, you know what the demand is for that item. You don't know the demand for this card because this card has a serial number. If you can't track where things are going, that's a problem. eBay is not reliable. It doesn't have enough data. It doesn't give us enough data. You don't get that data from Market Movers app. You don't get it because eBay doesn't collect it. You have no idea if there's more buyers or sellers. Is this a buy side opportunity or is this a sell side opportunity? You don't know which side is more heavy or not. So when people are selling, prices go down. When people are buying, prices go up. The problem is that when you don't have historical data, you don't know when people are buying or when people are selling. Right now, all you know is that people are selling cards, just in general. People are selling collections. People are selling their sports cards. They're just trying to sell. The question is, are there more people buying or selling? See, the news narrative, what we see on YouTube, is that everybody's selling cards. So we all believe that prices are coming down because it looks like everyone's selling. But we have no data to prove if that's real or not. We don't have any data to prove, is that true? And that's the problem. You can't invest in something when you don't know the truth. And that's important because you need to be able to see if it's an investment. This is the key. Maybe this will break it open for a lot of you who are still like, no, you can invest in sports cards. Here's the key. If you can't track the year-over-year return, the 3-year return, the 5-year return and the 10-year return, basically looking at historical data. Again, the charts. I don't know if you've ever analyzed charts for Wall Street, but if you analyze charts for Wall Street, you will see that that historical data is important. That's a problem. You think, well, the Michael Jordan rookie card was worth $750,000. It's worth $350,000, so I should buy it now because it'll go back to $750,000. No, it doesn't work that way. And you need to understand that. Michael Jordan doesn't play basketball anymore, so he can't add to his stats. His popularity, can it get any bigger? I don't think so. In fact, I only think that his popularity can get less. Like, the longer he's out of basketball, the more kids don't know him. Therefore, the next generation isn't going to see him as this GOAT because they've never seen him play. So his popularity is actually going to go down. A lot of you seem to not understand that. So now I want to give credit where credit is deserved. So I have done a couple videos on Jeff Wilson and the sports card investor. Now, as a YouTube creator, he's a good creator. He has great production values. His videos are very well produced. Jeff Wilson tried to create an app that would give historical data. It's called Market Movers. If you pay for this app, you are losing money because it doesn't give you the data that you need. You're getting false data. Just be aware that if you use the Market Mover app, you're getting false data. That's not Jeff Wilson's fault. I want to be very clear. That's not his fault. eBay is ripe for scams and schemes. Did you guys know that? If you didn't know that, I'm telling you right now, therefore, all of the information, all of the charts that you get from the Market Mover app is not validated. So if you're looking at Zion Williamson rookies, none of it's real. If you're looking at Luka Doncic rookies, none of it's real. None of the data is real. And one of the reasons why you're getting false data is it does not include public sales in any auctions. It's only crawling. It's a web crawler that only crawls eBay. And just so you're aware, eBay over the last 18 months, they've cleaned up a lot, but over the last 18 months has a lot of fraud in their data. They've had major scandals, major scams. They blocked an entire, PWCC is not allowed to sell cards on eBay because they were shilling. They were basically pumping up the price of all of their cards. That was proven, and they threw them off the platform. So all the Market Mover data that you have includes inflated prices from that scam. eBay is not reliable enough. It's not an exchange. There's no rules. If you break the law on eBay, eBay can't go after you. If you break the law on the New York Stock Exchange, you're going to jail or you're paying a hefty fine. It's a government regulated thing. eBay's not government regulated. Therefore, people can scam you every single day, and the scams are in the data. Again, because the Market Mover app just pulls data. It doesn't analyze it, doesn't do anything. I know he's got his staff that do fake analysis. I get it. It's all fake analysis. None of those numbers are real. I think that's maybe the one thing that's difficult to understand is there's no such thing as it will. There's no guarantees in life. So even if you do all of your due diligence, even if you do all of your risk analysis, even if you do everything you should do, even in investing, there's no guarantee that an investment will go up. It's about probability. Without historical data, you can't assess the probability that some card will go up. And that's scary. It's really scary, especially when you're looking at spending between $500 to $1,000 to $2,000, $3,000 per card. And you're just like, oh. So my philosophy at this point, just so everybody understands, because I think maybe there's a misunderstanding with that, is I'm a collector. I'm selling cards, and I'm trying to produce a series, basically Adventures in Sports Cards. I hope that you'll like it. I'm trying to produce it like a Netflix series. So there are going to be 6 episodes. I'm trying to write them all at the same time and then produce the videos together. And so my hope is that through that you understand where I am at in my collecting history, where I'm at in my journey, and you can either relate to it or kind of see like, oh, okay, I get that. Now I'm at this point in my life, I'm starting in a much different place than a lot of you because I've already gotten rid of a lot of cards. I had over 6 million cards. So I've already gotten rid of 6 million cards because I have less than 1 million cards at this point. How many cards do I need? Now I know, I've said this before on videos, if you have more than 10,000 cards, you are a card hoarder. And I will stick by that. So my goal is definitely to get under that 10,000. That's my goal. I have to get under that 10,000. I had someone make a very good comment. Well, what about sets? People who collect sets. Sets are bigger. Absolutely. You're not going to count every card in that set. Most sets are around 700 cards per set. Most sets, especially if they're full, base sets. So no, you don't count all of those cards within the set, but that set takes up space. If you have a full garage of stuff, you have too much stuff. Hopefully that all makes sense to you. Hopefully, as you see these videos, as you watch reason number 1, reason number 2, and now reason number 3, hopefully you're starting to see that this is not an investment. This is a hobby. This is a collectible. Can it be worth money? Absolutely. But it's more like an art piece. If you're subscribed to this channel, then I want you to realize there's only 3 things you can do. You can buy, you can sell, and you can collect. That's it. That is all that you can do. If you buy and hold, you're a collector. And if you collect more than 10,000 cards, you're a card hoarder. So let's recap. Reason number 1 is an exchange. Reason number 2 is risk. Reason number 3 is historical data. Now, again, I'm putting out more videos, more reasons within this series. So if you want to actually get alerted to those videos when they drop, then you need to press the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I want to thank you all for joining me. This is EDI Sports Cards. You can buy, sell, collect right here with EDI. I'm just going to sign off. Thank you so much for joining.